Hey buddy, how are you?
Good, happy Monday.
And to you, how was your weekend?
That was very spooky. I dressed up as Shaggy from what do you call it? Scooby-Doo. And my little girl and dressed up as Daphne. My partner dressed up as Velma. Yeah, we were just solving puzzles and crimes and mysteries. It was good.
Hey, super quick, pleasantries aside, although it is lovely to talk to you. We're trying to get a hold of Joel and we don't have his accurate number. The number listed on his resume is dead. I'll get that across through to you. I'll shoot through that updated number through to you, by text, is that alright? Yeah man, that's perfect. Boom. Okay.
Perfect. Thanks mate.
Love your work mate, we'll talk to you later.
Yeah, you too guys, catch up.
Bye.
Cheers. Bye. Hey Joel, it's Alexander and Jack. How are you, mate?
Yeah, good man.
Excellent. Is now a good time to speak?
Yeah, sorry, I can't quite hear you actually, quite quiet.
Oh yeah, that's because we're away from the speakers, so is that a bit better?
Let me try that.
Okay, no worries.
Is that better?
Yep, that's good.
Okay, sublime.
Yep, for sure, yep.
Let me also just preface all of that by saying congratulations, welcome to the team.
Oh yeah, sorry, I forgot that part, but yes, geez.
We are beyond excited to have you join us, mate. We can't wait to do all the incredible things we're going to do together. And both Jack and I were talking this morning about being really excited to have you in the office. We're at this point where we've gone and bought you a computer and we're going to buy you some monitors so that you're ready to go as soon as you want to come on in. So yeah, congratulations.
Yeah, great. Yeah, no, sounds good. Yeah, I've already been doing a load of machine learning research already. Definitely keen to get started.
Amazing.
Perfect. Alright mate, we'll chat to you soon.
Yeah, sure thing. Yeah,
Thanks Joel. Bye. Stop recording.
Well, no. Okay, so if we look at Disputify right now, we have a couple fundamental challenges.
Mm-hmm.
The first is we need to find a product market fit, which means we need to identify what our customer segment is, and in our current case, it's small, medium-sized enterprises. And we need to understand what our value proposition is. And right now, today, that value proposition is we will help you flag a bad guy. So we firstly continue down our path of identifying individuals that are and fraudulent indicators so we can really flag fraud.
Yep.
But at the same time, when it does occur, let's mitigate it, or let's make sure that we have a mechanism to mitigate it completely. I think that becomes the fraud offering.
The idea of us knowing the risk profile, detailed, intricate risk profile of a customer, actually have the numbers and have them consistently updated every month. There is no fudging this. Can't fudge this. We see it all, and being able to do that and then rolling that into our current offering as we move forward, it's pretty.
I think we need to go have some chats with some bankers. To break through here, we're going to need some kind of quantum AI computing system that can properly detect intent from criminal actors based on metadata. What you've just pitched though, that's innovation. That's essentially, we need to find out if anyone else is doing this on a scale.
So are we talking about the possibility of Disputify taking on a more...
We're talking about essentially, what we're out to do as a company is we're out to minimise the risk and cost of fraud.
Yes.
Now, the problem we've got right now is that we're really good, and we think we are, and what we're moving to get really good at over the time is to chargebacks. Chargebacks are only one element of fraud. And as we know right now, literally an everyday merchant really doesn't get hit all that much from chargebacks. Higher risk ones do, but they only make up, a certain section of the market. So we're in this position now where we're growing, but then when we're talking about what we're going to charge customers, we're like, well, really, the interest is it's there. It's there. That's why it makes sense. But realistically, how much can we get away from charging with it? Okay, so we're gonna have to go fulfill the value prop and do a bit more. Now, really, why was a merchant pay us to use Disputify? They do it because they don't want to spend money on fraud. I don't want to, no one wants to. If you can mitigate the cost of fraud, fantastic. So really what we're trying to do, and quickly, I'm halfway through re-explaining what you just said, so I'm going to start from the start.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to regurgitate it, and then you can correct me if I misunderstood anything.
Okay.
So, what we need to do is we need to do a bit more, add a bit more of a value prop, tack a bit more on. And right now, the reason they do it is because they want to reduce their cost. So for us to walk in there and offer a tack on a part of our product, a core offering, and say, not only will we have a bad actors list and we'll tell you who's a bad customer and prevent you from buying from you, but now also too, we'll also that order, which therefore means that not only are we going to tell you he's bad, but if we tell you they're good, we're going to. And if that customer does turn out to be bad, you already paid us, and that's baked into that. So why that's cool though? We're taking rich data from the APIs that we've got into these stores. We know what a merchant is like. We know how good they are, how bad they are, what the processes are like. We can see it. The numbers speak for themselves. And more importantly too, we have a dynamically updating data set of which if a merchant all of a sudden gets in 6 months because a new general warehouse manager takes over and everything just goes really poorly, we'll be able to see that and we'll be able to adjust our internal risk to this merchant.
So what's going on?
Walk and talk.
Okay, hold on. Yeah, what's going on?
Yeah, we're walking downstairs. We've got. Well, I'm eating, but
Yeah,
we've
nice.
got a guy from Frank Mobile here.
Oh, okay.
Just having an exploratory conversation with him, and Alex has spoken to him before. And he seems like a great guy. So
Yeah.
we'll just go.
A lot of what we're doing in our media strategy is not directly about our business prop right now, but everyone can see that it's building to something. And I think if we can keep that allure of going, we'll go from there. Me personally, speaking from my personal ambitions and goals, I want to turn Brisbane into this little startup mecca.
Australia's it's a picking ground for ideas, man. Nobody's doing. It's funny.
Doing shit.
Because she's come from, she's Canada, and she's like us. She just loves. I think you guys probably the same. When our idols are businessmen and women, and I love hearing the stories of what's going on, and blown away by just the lack of stuff happening in Oz yet over there. Like I show her your guys' videos here, and she's like, "Oh, isn't that normal?" You're like, well, no. It's not normal here. It's actually very out of the box here. So, yeah, I think you're on the right path. I think we share the same DNA. All right, lads, why don't we keep moving? Thanks for letting me come out.
No, brilliant.
Great to meet you.
It's lovely to meet you.
Likewise, man.
Awesome.
And look, yeah,
Lovely to meet you, man.
definitely,
Anyway.
Appreciate it.
Thanks for it. Yeah.
definitely keen to foster some collaboration.
Yeah, 100%.
And, obviously,
Keep fighting the fight, guys.
Currently on a hold, we're talking to who is one of our early stage beta customers, and in the last 2 weeks while he's been on the beta program, he's had a couple of fraudulent transactions. They've been hit 5 times in the last 2 weeks. It's a real problem for them, massive issue, and it's something I'm hoping we can help solve. So the interesting thing for us, and you've helped us to kind of highlight this issue now, so none of these notifications are getting through to us that we can factor into our calculations. So thank you. This is actually helping us significantly. Thank you so much for your time, mate. Much appreciated. Congratulations on the move.
Thanks a lot.
Cheers, mate. Talk to you then.
Alright, see you.
Bye. I mean, between this and some of the other people that we got coming in, these are all, we're building this database now of fraudulent transactions. Just cursory looking at it, pretty much anyone that with a .info is fraudulent. So, we got some work to do. Exciting.
That's the sound of the police. Whoop, whoop. That's the sound of the beast. So we were just having a conversation before just to
Yes.
catch the camera up.
Part of being in an early stage team, you need to essentially challenge your teammates on that ain't working. And you need to do it in a really supportive way. I'm in a position now where I need to have a chat to Jack, because Jack has started to utilize a couple of techniques. Hi, come on in.
Hey, how are you?
This Jack is from the kitchen.
I believe so, yeah.
So you were saying you need to have a chat to Jack?
Yeah, I need to have a chat to Jack. The reason being, and these are always hard chats to have, they're always really awkward. It really comes down to getting the team to trust each other. Because trust at an early stage is absolutely essential. And when you're a founder, it's really easy because you created the idea, you've got all this context, you put all these hours, there's a lot of stuff that people don't see that you've done. And you take ownership of every aspect of the business. You're essentially creating a reality or distorting reality to what you want it to be. And as a part of that, you take ownership of all of the intricate parts of it. And that's infrastructure, like passwords of accounts and access to this and access to that.
Yeah.
But for successful founders, there comes a point where they can't do it themselves anymore. And they need to start releasing and trusting their team to pick up the ball with other aspects of the business.
I think to catch the audience up on this, to get context, over the past few weeks, there's been a lot of conversations around concerns, I guess, about handing over bits and pieces.
If you're scanning the horizon for 6 months ahead, there are small things that look like not real issues right now, but if you don't address them today, they compound and they compound and they compound and they compound until 6 months from now they're this big ugly monster that's morphed into this thing that, hold on, that was a non-issue. I could have dealt with that in 30 seconds today.
To use Jira terms, it starts with an issue and then 6 months down the line it becomes an epic.
Exactly. And then a year after that, it's an initiative. So proud.
It's all you, man. It's all you.
You go, Will.
And what's the context of that? That was what happened yesterday, right? There was a conversation that was...
So yesterday was about 3 or 4 different issues compounded into one. He's just throwing up roadblock after roadblock because he cannot give up control over anything.
Excuse me, it's like me asking you to log into your bank account.
Mate, if you can make it really easy for me to transfer ownership, I will. But it's no easy.
Email, wasn't it?
No, I've tried the steps, they don't work. All I'm saying is sign in, authorize it, and then sign out.
And it built up,
And
right?
it built up.
Yeah.
And it was really good because I think it demonstrated that there were a few issues that need to be resolved. But it's still, it was a really good example of how we were able to disagree and still be respectful and still be intentional with how we behaved. So nothing got out of hand. It was heated, but it was respectfully heated, if that makes sense. But there are a couple of aspects that we need to, I personally want to feed back to Jack around the use of kind of a technique to motivate people. And that technique is if you do this, you can get the thing that you're asking for. And that works in some regards. It works in some circumstances. But when the thing someone's asking for is critical to help them execute on their job, getting them to go and do a set of other tasks is actually counterproductive. This person is in the mindset, hey, you're my blocker, I need you to do this thing so I can get to this next place. Now, adding additional steps to that blocked process is actually counterproductive.
I think it's worth having a conversation now. You basically said everything you needed to say.
Look, I understand that that's... I 100% acknowledge the point. Sometimes I don't realise that I do it. It's just something that I need to, become more aware of. And as I say, looking back and reflecting, there probably are a couple of times where I didn't think anything of it, and that's not the best way to go about it. So, no, I acknowledge the point, and I appreciate you picking me up on it. And more importantly, too, if I do it, just mention it and say, this is Jack, so this is an example of that. Spend 3 seconds on it and go, oh, right, okay, fine.
Well, look, I'm glad that you've you've taken that feedback on board.
No, look,
in that way.
I take the feedback, and I hope you understand that the Atlassian thing and all, it's not a problem of control. It's just I know the level of responsibility that I carry on my shoulders, and all I ever do is try and de-risk the position of myself, the company, and everyone else involved, and that is
100%. We're all on the same team about that as well.